So we're in the car. What did we just see today?
Oh, hi. We saw Woman in Black 2, Book of Shadows, Book of Secrets, The Reckoning, Part 4, Angel of Death. Yeah, Angel of Death. Wasn't that good. Just stupid. I can't even get mad about it because I wasn't like in love with the first movie. I mean, I just watched it again today because you hadn't seen it yet, so I made sure we watched it before we went and saw this. I was kind of hoping it'd be okay. I knew it was like different people behind it. If you've seen the first one, you know the basis of what happened, what the atmosphere is in the surrounding area. And it's supposed to be like the early 1900s that all this happens. Then Woman in Black 2 comes out. And Woman in Black 2 takes place in the 40s at some point. It's just the 40s because it's World War II in England. So therethere's like these two school teachers who they take these kids who are basically either orphaned or they have parents who can't leave the city to escape from the bombings from the Germans. So they will send these kids with these two teachers away. Like, you guys go sneak them away until it's safe. That's just a thing that they do. So, in this group of kids, there's like 8 of them. At the last second, they're at the train station, and the girl is like, okay, let's go. And she's like, wait, one more kid. His parents died last night. He won't talk. His name's Edward. And Edward doesn't talk. He just stares, and you know that he's not going to talk until the end of the movie.
Yeah, you know something's up with the kid.
You just know that this kid is just going to not do shit. He's going to be the main kid. Like, it's like, wait, we have to bring the main kid. There's the main kid. We can go now. So they get on the train. Now, apparently the village is just abandoned. We don't really see the village. The village does not come up, like, at all.
Yeah, it's not in a big picture.
No, it's really not. There's a part where they go back to it. She goes to one house and then leaves. Like, the village is not part of this movie. Everything's at this house. They wind up at the house, and they get in the house, and there's light bulbs. So at some point, this house had been wired. This house that in the first movie, everyone was afraid to go to. No one would touch it. I guess the people in the village just died because all their kids were dead. Or they just moved, which don't know why they didn't do that earlier considering the first movie. So they're gone. But meanwhile, this house has power. It has a generator. It has lights. So whoever did this put electricity in this house. They wired this house. I mean, not full lighting. It's like cheap light bulbs. It looks like it was done in the 20s. It's like somebody wired this house at some point.
Probably just for the war effort, because you could tell it was mounted to the wall.
I mean, okay, but even then, if this was for the war effort, that they're like, okay, we found this house in the middle of nowhere. My point with that is the nursery doesn't look the same. A lot of the toys have deteriorated. One of them's just a head on a stick at this point that just kind of moves. But you can tell that stuff was moved around. Like, at some point, and if we get a third movie, it's probably going to be in between these two movies to show what happened to this house. Because you can see things have been moved around, and they, like, tried to do something with this house at some point. Because the rocking chair is gone. It's you can see it's lit, things have been moved, but they left a lot of it there. So it was like, either you're going to have this room redone entirely. If you did that, you wouldn't let these disintegrating toys sit here. So it was like they were trying to show the room hasn't been touched, but it obviously has. I didn't know what they wanted. And the rocking chair, like, is gone. is it's in the basement. And then that's where the woman shows up and talks and starts beating the kid, and starts talking to him. And you would think that whenever this woman meets one of these kids, like in the first movie, whenever the woman in black meets a kid, first thing she says to him is, "Hey, put this gun in your mouth, pull the trigger," and the kid goes, "Okay." You know, but no, he just sits there and goes, "Have a doll, bye." Like,
Yeah, not this time.
like, I thought you just killed the kid. All right, fine. And you know what? You're the ghost. I guess you have no reason to have a pattern. Sure. Now, they never meant, like in the first movie, they talk about how the tide rises at 5 and comes down at 11. Because that was part of the idea of you're stuck on this island for 6 hours at a time, basically. And that's what made the first movie a little more effective. Is like, you are stuck at certain times. You can't get here. Now, they left that out of this movie on purpose because it would hurt the ending. But I just watched the first one, so the ending was hurt anyway. She keeps having these dreams where she's like in a maternity ward and she's just walking in it and walking slowly down it, and then there's something where she looks behind this curtain, and sometimes it's just an empty bassinet that's rocking, or just an empty bed. And she basically revealed the ghost. She starts writing on the wall, "You let him go. You let," you know. And I'm like, what's this guy doing? Turn the camera over. What the fuck's this guy doing? He stopped in the middle of the intersection. I mean, it's all stop signs because of the ambulance that was going by. But this guy's just stopped there. It's like, dude, pull behind the line. Anyway, all right. Anyway, I'm sorry. So anyway, she starts writing, you know, "You let him go" on the walls in the basement, and I'm like, I don't remember the ghost having a tactic like this for Daniel Radcliffe, that she wrote something down like, "You killed your wife because your hellspawn was too strong for her vagina and she bled to death." You know, I don't remember anything like that. So why did she suddenly know this fact about the woman, that the woman was very young? She had like she got knocked up, she was a teenager, and they took the kid away. She kept saying, "I want my kid, where's my kid?" And they took the kid away, and they made sure she never found it. So she is sitting there saying, "It's my fault. I gave up looking for my child. I don't know what happened to him."
Similar to the Woman in Black.
No. Similar to Woman in Black was, there's no real guilt there, except for maybe... No. That doesn't really... No, because she's supposed to feel guilty because the doctors and whoever in this hospital made sure she didn't see her child, and she gave up because she's like, well, there's nothing I can do because it's the 40s and there's no internet. No, honestly, it's not her fault. The woman is the woman in black, who's suddenly this vengeful ghost, is pissed at her and doing this thing because you let him go. It's like, for what? Fuck over the doctors that took the kid away. If you're that upset about it because you don't like the idea of your child being taken away, attack the fucking doctors who took the child away. This wasn't her fault. This motive is really dumb. And that's it. Mm-hmm. That's The Woman in Black 2, Angel of Death, The Reckoning, Barandal, Electric Boogaloo. Insert subtitle here. Like,
I mean, it almost makes me think of like Final Destination, sort of. The way they keep saying like there's like ways to get around the Woman in Black.
Yeah, I mean,
like, oh, if you close your eyes, or if you sacrifice another kid,
don't see her. Basically, it's don't look at her. But they're also trying to do this thing of like she feeds on your fear. And I'm like, that was not part of the first movie. Whereas feeds on your fear is not original.
No, that's like Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's Nightmare on Elm Street. That, like that's what they're trying to establish. I don't think they actually said those words.
Right.
But it's basically feeds on your fear. It's like, okay, movie, sure. Basically, if you like the first movie, which I thought was fine, I watched it again today. I didn't like it as much the second time around. It's still a solid horror movie. If you like that one enough, you might be okay with this, but it's not as good. It's really not. This is not a, I guess it's passable. If you happen to see it like on Netflix eventually, go ahead. You might enjoy it. You probably it looks nice. It's a very nice looking film. It's a very I don't want to say it's pretty, but it's it fits what it's trying to do.
The structure.
Everything is structured pretty well. The house isn't as creepy as it was in the first one. So it's more lit. Like the house is actually lighter. The acting's fine. The kids aren't really developed. It's just these two kids talk, so they're dead. One girl manages to speak up once, going, "Is the ghost real?" I'm like, "Well, you're dead," and then she doesn't die. I'm like, "Oh, my rule isn't working anymore." But that's it. I didn't mean to. What do you think? I didn't mean to.
I mean, I thought it was, like you said, pretty well structured, although it didn't make a whole lot of sense with certain parts.
No, it didn't.
Out of 5?
2 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a 2 out of 5. I can't in all conscience, because I gave the first one 3 out of 5. This is not nearly as good as the first one, but it's not bad. Like, this isn't a shit movie by any means. I'm not mad. Like, I'm not fuming. It's just not a good movie. It's a forgettable film.
Okay.
The first one stands well on its own.
Right.
They're probably gonna, if this film makes enough money, I can see them trying to crank out a third one. I don't know if you think maybe they'll stick into modern times. Something about they had to tear the house down and they built a modern house on top of it. Now it's haunted and her spirit's still on the ground. Freshen it up, or the electricians who put power in this house before, when they get haunted, because the idea is, oh, you saw her, now we're all gonna die.
It kind of spreads like cancer.
You would think, but whoever put the electricity in this house, they're apparently fine. They didn't say anything about there being a ghost, but they somehow got it in there. Other people were at this house since then.
Yeah, whatever.
So like I said, 2 out of 5. Yeah. Final thoughts on that?
No, that's pretty much it for me. If that's it for you.
Well, real quick, I was taking notes of the trailers that we got.
Okay.
I'm just curious. I just wanted to kind of throw that in there.
No, by all means.
What we got? Paul Blart 2.
Right.
Paul Blart 2, which I have not watched the first one. I probably, if it comes around to that I would see this, I'll probably go randomly see the first one. I know it's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. If not, I'll find a way to see it. I don't care. I guess it made enough money. The first movie seemed really sad. Yeah. Kingsman trailer was a new Kingsman trailer from the last time. That makes the movie look a little more interesting than before. Before it was just kind of looked just like the intro to the movie as the trailer. This one was a bit more full-fledged. I'm gonna go see it because it's Matthew Vaughn and he made Kick-Ass and X-Men First Class and Layer Cake and Stardust, and he's a good director, so I'm looking forward to that. Then the Furious 7, which they're treating like the last movie, even though we know there's going to be an 8 and a 9.
Yeah, they're probably going to keep adding to the story.
Yeah.
Until they're all dead.
Right. I don't know how that's going to go. And then Insidious 3, which I didn't see the first two, and I don't care about the first two, so a new Insidious movie doesn't mean anything to me, so I'm not here to see every horror movie this year. I saw this because I saw the first one.
Right.
So, other than that, I'm pretty much good to go. Good night, Facebook, whatever. Bye. Oh, and God, because it said we put Sweet Baby Ray in, right?
Oh, I actually like that.
That's the only reason I got it.